Politicians on both sides continue to lay out their positions to sway the undecided. The People's National Party mounted a platform in a section of St. Catherine early Wednesday morning, hammering the government heavily, not on anything new, but this time pressing home the need for resources should they take over. More from Curlin Brown.
The central location, the heart of Old Harbour in southwest St. Catherine Wednesday morning, was more than the usual hustle and bustle, as orange was dominant, with people standing not just to protest, but for something and more than just headlines, according to one speaker. Rules. Rules which the party leader and opposition leader Mark Golding says are not only being called out by him and the PNP.
Jamaica has been racked by a government that has been in office for nearly 10 years, and they have continually breached what it takes to govern the country in accordance with principle. The most recent of these things is, of course, the attempt to subvert the true process of the Financial Investigations Division.
In stressing why issues like these matter, the party leader told the gathering they need all the resources they can muster to make life better and fix the country.
We needed money to fix the road network of the country, which has been neglected over the 9 years of the Jamaica Labour Party, and they're scrambling when elections are upon them to spark or to reach, but them can't spark and them not reach because the people of Jamaica don't make up their mind already that this government not ready and them have to go down and the people want change.
Mr. Golding had his strike on the mind blame.
Comrades, they seem to be obsessed with bad mind. They are wallowing in bad mind. All they can talk about is bad mind. When they are the ones who take the truth and turn it into lie. They're the ones who deceive the people by constant misinformation. How can they say that the Cornwall Regional Hospital is anything but a complete disaster for the people of Jamaica? Comrades, we support good mind. We support principle. We support righteousness. We support upliftment of people.
He concluded the end of the government is nigh and they will make it happen. Curlin Brown, CVM News.
The transition from international diplomacy to the rough and tumble of constituency politics is a significant one, and Ambassador Audrey Marks is hoping to make that leap successfully. She's aiming to replace the current Member of Parliament, Audley Shaw. CVM News caught up with her on the ground in Manchester North Eastern to discuss her campaign and aspirations.
Speculation was rife that Jamaica's former ambassador to the United States, Audrey Marks, now a senator, was headed to Manchester North East. The heavy presence of senior JLP members in the hills of the constituency on Tuesday, including its leader and general secretary, confirmed it is so.
We brought Ambassador Marks to have a discussion with elements of the leadership of the constituency. We have had discussions with some before now. It's not the first time we have had discussion with the councillor and other team leaders. It's a broader spectrum of the leadership of the constituency, which is, as you can see, a very strong leadership, very strong grassroots organizers who are now ready to begin the process of winning, return the seat and returning to the Labour Party, or keeping the seat for the Labour Party and sending Ms. Marks to Parliament.
After a meeting with the constituency executive, Marks said she was impressed by the reception.
This was very gratifying, just to see the openness. They spoke about their concerns, but more importantly, they expressed the optimism of us working together in the future, and they accepted the fact that I'm here to serve, and they have welcomed me into the constituency.
The constituency had been experiencing some tension due to the uncertainty surrounding a replacement for Audley Shaw, who has been the MP since 1993. Two people had lined up to take over from Shaw, Hadron Mikulski, the principal of Homewood Technical High, and Omar Miller, the councillor for the Craighead Division. Shaw had endorsed Miller at a political meeting.
When someone have their own aspirations, things could go very different. So I am pleased at their the generosity of spirit and the lack of selfishness, and looking ahead to the betterment of Jamaica and choosing to work with their party above their personal interest. So it was a very good day in terms of meeting both of them. I was impressed also with what they both take to the table.
The JLP is aiming for a third consecutive term in office. Marx seemed well aware of what is at stake.
The Jamaica Labour Party government has been doing a tremendous job. They have laid a foundation for our economic growth. And for a long time we have struggled with that. And I would like to see, and I want to contribute to getting that third term so that we can finish this job. Because it's my dream and my desire that my children will have a future here in Jamaica, and I can clearly see all the foundational things that we need to do, you know, the debt to GDP, the infrastructure development that we have done. So I'm excited.
Dr. Chang confirmed that he spoke with Shaw about the development, and he expressed the party's confidence in retaining the seat.
He's in full support. He's in full support.
Very much aware.
It is one team going forward.
Right.
And we're going to ensure that the people of Northeast Manchester continue to get quality representation that they are accustomed to.
Ambassador Marx is a welcome addition to the team. She has served us well as ambassador in Washington, and she look forward to serving in a different capacity, well, in both as well as a member of the executive.
Shaw won the seat by 3,900 votes in 2020, 1,647 in 2016, and 573 in 2011. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
Meanwhile, Minister of Local Government and Jamaica Labour Party Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie says Jamaicans should never allow the People's National Party, the PNP, to regain power. Minister McKenzie also alleges that the PNP is actively working to undermine the efforts of the JLP leader. More in this report.
Because the steady hands of Dr. Holness and his team has rebuilt the Jamaican economy.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, is actively putting more money in the pockets of Jamaican citizens. This pronouncement as he addressed supporters at the party's St. Mary Southeast Tour and Works on Tuesday. According to Minister McKenzie, the JLP, due to the astute leadership of Holness, has significantly reduced the financial burden of the poor.
The minimum wage. We have had increase in the minimum wage about 2 or 3 times since the form government. And it means that when the minimum wage increase, it means the livelihood of the average Jamaicans also increase.
Minister McKenzie says the social programs instituted by the PNP are lackluster. He claims it's the JLP-based programs which effectively addressed poverty and support vulnerable groups.
Look at the indigent housing program under the Ministry of Local Government, where persons who are registered on our poor relief program. Again, every parish in Jamaica has benefited from the Jamaica Labour Party indigent housing program.
Minister McKenzie believes the PNP would potentially reverse developments made by the JLP instead of making worthwhile improvements. He says historically, everything progressive in the country is opposed by the PNP.
You see them over there? You think they're nice? Everything that is positive that Jamaica wants to take the country forward, they oppose it. They're trying to destroy our leader and Prime Minister. Talking about how much bank account. Talking about who do this and who do that. The reason why they're moving in that direction, they can't confront him with programs and policies.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.
Are high in Clarendon. Our focus this evening is on Clarendon Northern, a constituency that saw both a general local government election and a divisional by-election in 2024. Andre Jebinson now brings us numbers don't lie.
Clarendon Northern is heavily reliant on farming and residents participating in overseas farm programs, which has been blamed for election losses and wins. So Decision 2025 promises to be particularly interesting given the recent history of close contests. Former cricketer Heath Hinds is looking for a high score, while incumbent auditor Dwight Sibbles is hoping there is no deviation from his previous superior numbers. But the results from recent elections suggest the volatility of the electorate and the challenges in predicting the outcome. In the 2020 election, Sibbles secured a victory over longtime politician Horace Daly by a narrow margin of 713 votes. Daly was searching for his 8th win since 1989. He since left representational politics. The 2024 local poll provided a glimpse into Clarendon Northern's unpredictability. The results from the 3 divisions show a slight shift, with the JLP securing an overall majority of 379 votes. The JLP won 2 divisions, Annan Town and Kellett, while the PNP won Crofts Hill. However, the death of the Annan Town councillor shortly after his win triggered a by-election in November 2024. The by-election in Annan Town saw a turnaround, with the PNP ultimately winning by a mere 54 votes. The Clarendon Northern seat has been closely contested since its creation in 1967. The last 4 election cycles have been split evenly between the JLP and the PNP. The JLP won in 2007 and 2020, while the PNP secured victories in 2011 and 2016. So it seems Clarendon Northern will come down to the effectiveness of campaign strategies, the ability of the candidates to mobilize their supporters, and the overall political climate where the Prime Minister names the date. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
As the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, ramps up its revenue collection process, media houses have come under scrutiny for outstanding annual fees for the display of signs and advertisements. They are being encouraged to pay up and avoid penalties. With more, here's Adrian Williams.
Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC's chairman, Andrew Swaby, highlighted media entities that have reportedly not paid fees for advertising and erected signs. He's cracking the whip on what he believes to be delinquent media houses.
Subject to Regulation 3, subsection 1 of the Town and Country Planning Control of Advertisement Regulation 1978. The law states that, and I quote, "No person shall display any advertisement in, on, or over any land or buildings without the prior approval of the local planning authority and the payment of the prescribed fees."
Swaby explains the conditions dictating the terms of payment.
If your signs, advertisement do not fall within the exemption under Section 5 of the Advertisement Regulation Act, you have an obligation to submit an application to the KSAMC and to pay the requisite fees. These fees are non-transferable. They only apply to the individual or the businesses of whom the application was submitted.
The mayor implores media houses that have not yet responded should do the right thing.
For those who have not yet responded to our official communication, we'll be taking further actions against you to ensure that the KSAMC is paid what is owed to us. We are sending a strong signal to media houses who we believe should act with more responsibility and lead by example.
This move comes amidst the damning allegations of fraud at the corporation, now under investigation. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
In other news now, students across the island have reportedly been falling behind the page, struggling to read at levels far below their grade. But the Education Ministry says it's taking steps to tackle these challenges head-on, aimed at rewiring how literacy is taught in schools. Shante McNeil tells us more.
The Ministry of Education is cracking open a new dimension in the battle against illiteracy. Starting this September, reading will once again be a timetabled priority in primary schools across Jamaica. This according to Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, in what is now considered a growing literacy crisis. She was speaking in Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
Come September, from grade 1 to grade 3, we are timetabling reading. It had been taken off of the timetable some time ago, and we are putting it back on the timetable because we cannot afford for our children to leave primary school not literate. So that's our policy position.
Her comments come on the heels of a troubling report from the Pembroke Hall High School in St. Andrew that over 70% of grade 7 students either cannot read or read only at a grade 3 level. Minister Morris-Dixon admits there are long-standing gaps in the system. Many students battling literacy challenges, she says, come from difficult socioeconomic circumstances. But the ministry has been proactive, identifying struggling schools and administering diagnostic tests, which will resume this summer. She adds that some schools have even taken a preemptive approach to addressing these issues head-on.
I've been to many schools, and there are some schools that will show you this was the result at grade 3. And this is the plan that we have put in place. And this is how we're seeing it change from year on year. And they'll tell you that they've been working with the ministry, they've been putting in intervention programs, and they're seeing success.
She praises schools that have taken the initiative, but warns that not all have stepped up. She's urging leadership at every level to use the tools and resources already available to make a difference.
Within another 3 or 4 years, we can eliminate this problem. But it takes the board to be proactive. A board has to be proactive. And remember, all these children at Pembroke Hall High are coming from primary schools. And so the primary schools have to take that ownership too and work with us in the ministry in addressing this.
Still, the minister is clear. Low literacy doesn't mean low intelligence. Oftentimes, the root lies in undiagnosed learning disabilities. To bridge that gap, the ministry is expanding literacy intervention programs and investing in more diagnostic testing.
We're building a new facility, which will be open this year in order to do more diagnostic tests. And what we have to do is to have more of those individuals who are trained in that area. And we have a limited supply here. Just like Minister spoke about his Barry Wint scholarship, what we're doing is providing scholarships for individuals who want to train in that area. The Ministry of Education has scholarships. We've also said to UWI, you need to work with us in terms of delivering more people who can do the diagnostic tests, but also we need clinicians who can actually work with the children when it's diagnosed.
However, the path is not without hurdles. She points to the long wait times to see speech therapists, while reassuring the ministry remains committed to allocating resources to ensure no child is left behind. Shante McNeil,